What's up everyone, Micah here with another topic video. Today I have a sort of weird topic, as in it's not really news or anything, it's just something that's happening, but that's kind of why it's news. It's very, very strange. So basically, Hex, the online TCG game, which is all free to play and stuff like that, and it's actually quite fun, actually, from what I played of it at least, is actually losing its publisher, but not because the game's shutting down and the developers having to do all this other stuff, and the developer is actually getting full reins over it, and they're going to be managing it instead of Gameforge. So Gameforge is basically like, we're not going to publish it anymore, and Hex Entertainment and Cryotic, I think they're just Hex Entertainment now, is basically just being like, all right, cool, we'll take care of it. And the weird thing about it, the reason why I kind of wanted to talk about it, is because this is the first time in a really long time I've seen a publisher leave a project without some sort of mishaps happening beforehand. Now, Hex Entertainment did have a sort of lawsuit going against them a long time ago, back in 2015, I think is when I read it. Basically, it's very, very similar to Magic the Gathering. And so basically, Wizardry's all like, hey, you know, you gotta change all this stuff because you're basically just copying us, which, for one, that's kind of ridiculous, because if you can't have the same sort of mechanics, what the hell, sort of thing. But at the same time, yes, you know, it kind of was close to Magic, but that was also why I liked it, because while I like Magic, I don't necessarily like Wizardry, the, you know, company. And so I was like totally for it. And I like, you know, Hex Entertainment's kind of routing to it, because I don't necessarily like Wizardry's sort of, you know, payment models, but they had a lawsuit and everything like that. However, I think this is completely irrelevant to the topic at hand, because this happened years ago, and so I don't think Gameforge is looking at it like now. It's like, well, there was that one lawsuit, and we're not necessarily happy about it, so we're gonna leave you guys alone. No, it's more like Gameforge was just like, hey, you know, we want to allocate our sources somewhere else, and so we don't really want to publish the game anymore. Maybe they have, you know, servers that they want to move to other games. You know, they do have other types of products that they do publish and everything. So maybe it's something to do with that, or maybe they're just like, yeah, it's not as profitable as we would like, so yeah, we don't really want to deal with it anymore. And Hex is like, okay, cool. And the surprising part about it is that we've seen a lot of these shutdowns and everything like that that have popped up, or, you know, like, let's say the most recent one was Dirty Bomb. Dirty Bomb didn't shut down, but rather it was bought back from the developer. You know, Splash Damage was like, hey, we don't like the way Nexon's handling it, and so basically they just bought it back from them. You know, they had to wait for the game to be basically worthless at that point, but they ended up just buying the game back, and supposedly they're doing a lot of updates and trying to make the game better. There's games that shut down all the time. LO Online, it's another one, Dungeon Fighter Online, and they ended up having to go to a self-publishing or sort of a roundabout self-publishing way to end up getting their game back out there. And I think that's fantastic, because, wow, I failed. You're able to kind of do whatever the hell you want with your game, and I think that's always fantastic. But this is one of those cases where I don't even think the game is really going to be changing all that much. They haven't talked about any changes. It's literally just, it's switching over to the developers that are managing the game. And so basically, you know, you're going to have to switch over your account to a Hex, like a Hex developer account. I don't know what the hell they're calling it, but they're switching accounts and switching servers, and apparently, according to the forums and what everyone's saying, it's going fairly smooth as well. And Gameforge is actually active on it as well. It's not just the developer being like, all right, well, now we're going to take it all, like, let's say, for, like, you know, Splash Damage's case, to where they're just like, yeah, well, now we got to do all this other stuff. We got to set up servers, and basically Nexon just left them alone. Like, yeah, whatever. It's all, like, toxic and everything like that. But this isn't one of that. This is a case to where they're both working together professionally and doing a professional transfer. It's fantastic, actually, and I hope this is a sign of the future. I hope we see more cases of this sort of happening. And while I haven't really seen this happen in the past, I think that's mostly because most of the time when a publisher leaves a game, it's because the game's dead, or because the developer wants to basically abandon the project and move it on, or move it on to their own platform. So, you know, like, let's say Dungeon Fighter Online was one to where Nexon's like, oh, it's dead, and it's like, no, it's dead because you made it absolutely impossible to play with all of your damn microtransactions. And then, you know, when the developer actually got a hold of it, which I'm sorry, I can't think of the developer's name right now, they're like, you know what, we're gonna make this better. And so they made it 1,000 times better, and people still play it because it's an amazing game. It's not dead, it's just, yeah. But this isn't one of those cases. It's very strange. And I gotta say, I was like actually waiting a few days, because I'm like, there's got to be something more to this. There's gonna be like some hidden secret or something like that. I was like, no, I just didn't want to publish the game anymore. And they've had several public statements just being like, yeah, we're just switching over. We didn't, you know, want to take the resources to publish it anymore, and Hex wanted to. So there you go. So it could have shut down. Like, let's say, you know, Hex Entertainment was like, nah, we don't really care about the project anymore. And it could have definitely shut down. But I'm glad that it didn't, because I might actually go and play it again. I haven't played a TCG in a while, and hearing this news actually made me think about TCGs again. I'm like, I like TCGs, and I like, you know, that game specifically. I like the art style of Hex, and I've heard that it has a lot of content now and a lot of interesting kind of gameplay mechanics. So, yeah, I think I might end up going back and playing it. But regardless, you know, if you haven't played it, I played it back all the way in, I think it was Alpha, like the second Alpha or whatever. I had like a special key for it and everything like that, and it was fairly fun back when I played it, but I haven't played it since then, so I can't necessarily say whether I recommend it or not, but it seems to be doing well, so that's good news for them, and I hope that everything ends up going smoothly afterwards. You know, I think that, I don't know necessarily how populated the game is, considering Gameforge just wants to leave it, but it could end up being fairly popular or fairly not popular. I don't know. It's fairly old now. Like I said, that whole lawsuit thing happened all the way back in 2015. And so basically, yeah, it's been out a while. But at the same time, that's perfectly fine. And I hope that that means that there's a lot of cards and content to play through. Which, yeah, I don't know. I might actually go play it again. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. That's going to be me for this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this one. You can also end up checking out my Impressions review series. The most recent one I did was for Assault Android Cactus, which is actually the game I'm playing in the background, which I'm not playing particularly well. I'm sorry, it's late and I'm tired and everything like that. And I'm like, I want to talk about this because I need a video tomorrow. And so basically that's why I'm doing this. Also, my throat is giving me trouble. So I'm like resisting the urge to cough this entire time. So I better end quick so that I can end up coughing to my heart's desire. So yeah, anyways. You can also check out my other topic videos as well. I try and do these on a daily basis, except for the days that I have reviews up, which means that there's a review that you can watch, so you can end up checking those out. I also have other reviews, such as one for Mega Dimension Neptunia V2. That was the other one that I did before Assault Android Cactus, and it is fairly decent as well. Assault Android Cactus, by the way, I don't play this endless mode. Right now I'm playing the endless mode. In the review, I actually go through all the stages, and it has a lot of interesting and really cool stages, and I definitely recommend it, and so you should check out that review for it, because it's actually a really, really fantastic game. Also, apologies if my footage is stuttering in the background. Yeah, I haven't been able to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out, but for some reason, every once in a while, my Windows 10 is just instantly using my entire disk drive, and I have no idea why. So if the, you know, footage is stuttery, that's exactly why. My capture is screwing up, so I apologize for that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and give me your thoughts. Have you guys played Hex yet? Do you recommend it? Because, yeah, I haven't played it yet, and I haven't re-downloaded it yet, and I don't know if I necessarily want to. I do have a data cap, and so I'm like, So, you know, if you guys recommend it or not, that'd be interesting, and I don't know. This is not going to be the end of the game, which is pretty awesome. You know, I was really, really scared for a while that when I saw them in the headlines, it's like, publisher leaves Hex. I'm like, oh no, is this shutting down? Because I actually liked it back when I played it. And I don't know why I haven't played it. If I liked it, I should be playing it. But yeah, do you guys recommend it, or do you not recommend it? Have you ever heard of it? I don't know, some people haven't heard of it. But regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to stop dying by stop playing the game. Yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video. God, I'm tired. I need to take a nap.